Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yashala, Kul Halo Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rachach Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwa that's out here sincerely, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Just coming at you with another quick lesson and pray that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just wanted to give an example of being a Hebrew Israelite. It goes by the DNA of the father, So if you come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then you are an Israelite. If you come from Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, then that means that you are an Edomite. And those are the twins that Rebecca had. So the so-called white race, their biblical name is Esau Edom. That's their biblical nationality. They're not actually white. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color. But now color doesn't really make a difference, though, because what I'm about to get into is this is Patrick Mahomes' daughter. Now, Patrick Mahomes, he is an Israelite. His dad married a so-called white woman, and they had him. And he got, a lot of the, that color from his mom. So now he's had a baby with his wife, which is a so-called white woman. And this is the results right here. This little Israelite right here. So this is a little girl that's an Israelite. She would be a so-called Negro. You see? But look at how she looks. Now, had this been a son and that son grew up and he got married to a so-called white woman, then the children would completely look white, but there would be so-called blacks. You see? So you have to understand that when it comes to the DNA, the seed line goes through the father. And whatever your father is, that's what you are, And I don't have to go off into the story. They're just celebrating her birthday or whatever. But, hey, little Israelite. This is an Israelite little girl right here. This is a so-called Negro. But she looks like a so-called white girl. You see what I'm saying? And see, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, they know that there's no such thing as biracial. They know that there's no such thing as multiracial. You are exactly what the seed is. You see? Because it's the same way with fruits and vegetables. It's the same way with any plants. The Lord is not the author of confusion. You are exactly what your father is, though you could look like another nation. And see, Israelites have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth as a punishment from Yahweh. So our people look like so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese. They look like the people of the other nations, so to speak. Quick little lesson, though. I'm just going to grab, the premise on that. Let's get the Numbers chapter 1. And this is how we go by the progenitor of our fathers. You see, we don't listen to the so-called white man. The so-called white man tell you that you come from damn monkeys, man. They're actually written into law that a man can actually be a damn woman here and a woman can be a man. So why would you listen to somebody as confused as them when it comes to any damn thing? The Bible is straightforward and it lets you know how to get down goes, man. Now, this is Numbers chapter 1. I'm going to start from the top. And this was the registration of the Israelite troops when they came out of Egypt the second year. So when they came out of Egypt from underneath Pharaoh, there was a count. And let's see how they counted these men or your bloodline. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tabernacle of the congregation on the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take ye the sum of the congregation of the children of Israel after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their poles. So it says by the house of their fathers. It doesn't say by the house of their mothers. It says every male by their poles, not every female by their poles. You see, that's why a woman, when she gets married to the man, she takes on that man's name, last name. The children take on that man's last name. And when his daughters get married, they take on the name of who they married. But when it comes to his son's name stay the same. That's how you can have a junior, a third, name senior, these names or whatever. So the seed line goes by the father, man. It's not, now you got those Israelis over there in the land. They go by their mother, and that's just backwards as hell. The mother is not land. She has no damn seed in her to be producing nothing. So a woman is considered to just be ground, like earth, like, when you plant cucumbers or if you plant watermelons, that earth is gonna, now depends on what kind of dirt you're planting it in. it could come out looking a little bit different, but it's still going to be a watermelon or a cucumber, so to speak. Like how you have different kinds of apples. They're all apples. You got a green one, you got a bush apple, you got red ones, you got yellow ones, but they're all apples. You see what I'm saying? Okay, it says on verse 3, it says, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, thou and Aaron shalt number them by their armies, and with you there shall be a man of every tribe. See, everyone head of his house, everyone head of the house of his fathers. See, so this is how the seed line goes, man. This was very, very, very important in the ancient days, and it's still important to this very day because that's how you know who you come from. See, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, these people are backwards as hell. For real, everything that they do is upside down as hell, man. This place, America, this is the most wicked place on the damn planet, and you gonna listen to these motherfuckers? The same people that enslaved you and gave you and called you black, they gave you a damn color for your nationality? Come on, man. They're not to be listened to, man. But anyway, I just wanted to just bring this out real quick lesson. And, like I said, again, look at her. You see? That's an Israelite. Got the little green eyes or whatever color eyes there are. But if she grows up to marry a so-called white man, those are going to be so-called white children. She's an Israelite, though. But like I said, it's not going to make no difference with her, really. Now, had this been a son, though, I'm telling you, that son could, if its son had grown up and married a so-called white woman, those children are going to automatically look white. So there are a whole bunch of people out here that look like they're so-called white people, but they're actually Israelites. They're actually so-called Negroes. And then you have a lot of dark-skinned people that are actually so-called white people. Because your seed line goes by your father, man. If a white man lays down with a so-called a black woman and they have a child together, those children are Edomites. And some of them come out chocolate looking. And that's why you can tell by the spirit. When you see some old doofy ass, you just be looking like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Like he just don't add up. They don't have that salt, that swag. Because Jake, we have swag. We have salt. We are the salt of the earth. We have a different spirit than Edomites, man. So like I said again, just a quick little lesson on this, man. Pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.